Okay, imagine this for a second. You're right there, needing to make a really big call. You're relying on, this super advanced AI tool for some critical piece of information. Maybe it's a market trend, could be a legal thing, maybe even a medical insight. And the AI just gives you this answer. Sounds perfect, totally authoritative, completely plausible.
But it's just wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Completely made up. And this isn't some sci-fi scenario. This is a real challenge happening right now with artificial intelligence.
It really is.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are diving headfirst into this fascinating and sometimes pretty baffling world of AI hallucinations.
Yeah, it's a great topic.
Our mission for you listening is really to give you a shortcut, a way to understand this critical piece of the AI puzzle. We're going to look at why these incredibly smart systems sometimes, just make stuff up.
Right.
We'll explore the risks, which are actually quite serious for you, for businesses. And crucially, what leaders are actually doing about it.
Because you really need to know the pitfalls to leverage the power.
Yeah. Precisely. Understanding both sides is key. So, okay, AI hallucinations. What are we actually talking about here?
Well, fundamentally, it's when a language model gives you an answer that sounds totally confident, totally plausible.
Like it knows exactly what it's talking about.
Exactly. But the information is just false. It's not lying, not like a person lies. It's just doing its job, which is producing likely sequences of words.
But the result is a fabrication, a convincing one.
And that's the kicker, isn't it? That unwavering confidence, it delivers the falsehood with this poise. That makes it incredibly deceptive.
So it's not really knowing things. It's more like predicting.
That's a great way to put it. Large language models, LLMs, they don't know facts like we do, or like a database does. Think of them more like autocomplete on serious steroids.
Okay.
Their main job is to predict the next most likely word based on all the patterns they learned from, tons and tons of text data.
So when it gives an answer, it's not pulling a fact from memory.
No, it's generating text that sounds right, that sounds coherent, even if the information itself is just baseless.
And the examples really drive this home, like asking an AI for Dr. Jane Doe's PhD thesis title.
Right.
And the AI comes back totally confident. Oh, Dr. Doe's thesis, it's innovative data strategies for global markets. Sounds specific, right?
Very plausible.
But Dr. Doe's actual thesis title is completely different. The AI just invented it.
It's a perfect illustration, and researchers see this all the time. Asking simple factual things like an author's birthday, they get multiple answers, all delivered with complete certainty.
And all wrong.
Often, yes, and you mentioned it before, but it bears repeating. It's that confidence. The AI doesn't hesitate. It doesn't say, let me check, or I'm not quite sure.
No hedging?
None. It just states the falsehood as fact, and that makes it so hard for us as humans to catch.
Yeah. Okay, so getting trivia wrong is one thing, maybe even funny. But in business, the stakes are way higher. Things get real pretty fast.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you're out there using AI, relying on it, how do these confident mistakes actually hit your bottom line, your reputation?
The impact can be huge. Think about poor business decisions first.
Yeah.
An AI analytics tool might just invent a market trend. It predicts growth, sounds convincing, but it's based on nothing real.
And executives might base a whole strategy on that.
Yeah, exactly. You could derail entire initiatives, waste huge amounts of money and resources, all based on a hallucinated insight.
Wow. Okay, so that's internal. What about facing customers?
That's another big one. Loss of customer trust. Imagine a chatbot for your bank. It confidently tells the customer, don't worry, that loan fee is waived.
Oh, boy.
Right. Later, the customer finds out it wasn't waived. Who do they blame?
The bank, not the...
Precisely. They blame your company. And that trust, it's incredibly hard to win back. That's direct reputation damage right there.
And then there are the legal and compliance angles.
Yeah.
That sounds serious.
Extremely serious, especially in regulated fields like law or healthcare. A hallucinated legal citation, a made-up medical instruction, an incorrect interpretation of a regulation.
That's not just an error. That's a potentially catastrophic.
It could lead straight to lawsuits, huge fines, regulatory nightmares, even patient harm. And this isn't theoretical. Remember that law firm.
The one that filed a brief with fake cases generated by AI.
That's the one, a very stark, very real example of how serious this can get.
We've even seen it hit major brands. That Google Bard demo back in 2023.
Oh, yeah, the space telescope answer.
Right. Confidently gave a wrong answer.
Yeah.
And the result, Alphabet stock dropped, what, $100 billion in a day.
Just staggering. It shows the financial weight these things can carry in the public eye.
And there's a quieter risk too, right, inside your own company.
Yes, absolutely. Slowing adoption. If your own teams start to distrust the AI tool because they know it sometimes just makes things up,
They just won't use it.
they'll avoid it. It becomes expensive shelfware. You've wasted the investment and you've missed the opportunity that AI could have provided.
Okay, so this is clearly not just some minor tech bug. Hallucinations are a real strategic issue. Leaders need to be paying close attention.
Without a doubt.
Which brings us to the big question, why? Why do these incredibly complex, sophisticated models do this? What's going on under the hood? The sources had a great analogy, like a multiple-choice test.
Yeah, that's a really helpful way to think about it. Imagine you're taking a test, you don't know the answer, you can leave it blank or you can guess.
Okay?
Now, if there's no penalty for guessing wrong, what do?
You guess every time. Might get lucky.
Exactly. There's always a chance you'll get it right. AI models, in their training, face sort of similar incentives.
How so?
Well, often, during training, not answering is penalized just as much as giving a wrong answer. But if it guesses, hey, it might be right.
So it learns that guessing is generally better than silence.
It implicitly learns that providing an answer, any answer, is often preferable to admitting uncertainty. And there's a deeper statistical reason, too. These models, LLMs, they're usually trained on just massive amounts of text from the internet, mostly without specific true or false labels.
And supervised learning, right.
Right. So they get incredibly good at sounding fluent, at generating text that flows well, but they aren't really trained or incentivized to check facts or say, I'm not sure.
And this connects back to that guessing game idea. OpenAI has some insights on this.
They did, and it's quite revealing. Their research basically says models hallucinate largely because the way we train and test them rewards guessing over admitting uncertainty.
We're rewarding the wrong behavior, essentially.
In a way, yes. It's like we've built systems that are almost too eager to please, to always provide an answer.
It's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
As people, we learn that saying, I don't know, can actually build trust.
Exactly. But AI models, they're kind of stuck in this permanent test-taking mode. The current ways we evaluate them, they heavily penalize uncertainty. You get points for answering, even if it's a guess. You get 0 for saying, I don't know.
So the system learns.
Yeah.
Always answer, even if you have to make it up.
That's the dynamic. It pushes them towards confident guesses rather than honest expressions of doubt.
And apparently there are like 3 main reasons why this happens, even if the training data itself seems okay.
Yeah, 3 core issues. The first is what some call the birthday problem.
Okay.
Think about a really specific random fact, like the birthday of a mid-level manager at some random company. Is there a pattern the AI can learn to predict that?
No, not really. It's just a
No.
random fact.
Exactly. If that specific detail only appeared once or twice in its massive training data, the model likely didn't learn it reliably. So if you ask, it has to guess, or rather hallucinate a plausible sounding answer.
So how does that play out in business?
Well, for really specific, rare information relevant to your work, maybe a unique client preference, a weird clause in one vendor contract, a one-off market event, nobody wrote much about the AI, might just make up an answer because it lacks enough data points to know the real one.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the second reason?
Then there's the poor model problem. Sometimes the AI, despite being powerful, just isn't well smart enough or designed right for the specific question you're asking.
It doesn't actually understand the task.
Kind of. The classic example is asking something seemingly simple, like how many letter Ds are in the word deep seek?
Okay, that's 1D.
Right. But advanced models have apparently answered 2 or even 7. It fundamentally misunderstands the nature of the query, even though it seems straightforward.
So for complex business analysis or really nuanced industry stuff?
Exactly. Or highly specialized technical problems. The AI might just not have the capability to handle it correctly, leading to confident but totally wrong analysis or recommendations.
And the third one sounds familiar. Garbage in, garbage out.
That old chestnut. Yes, AI learns from the internet, and the internet is, well, full of errors, myths, biases, and just plain bad information.
Okay.
Even with filtering, it's almost impossible to clean it all up perfectly.
So old industry rumors, things that were later debunked, outdated info, that stuff can creep into the AI's knowledge.
It absolutely can. And then it can surface later in the AI's output, presented as a confident fact or recommendation. It really underscores how crucial the quality of the training data is.
Okay, this next point feels really important. maybe even a bit controversial. The way we test AI systems might actually be making this whole hallucination problem worse, the evaluation trap.
It's a really critical insight, and yeah, maybe a bit counterintuitive. OpenAI's research points this out strongly. Our main ways of evaluating AI models overwhelmingly penalize uncertainty.
They punish the AI for saying, I don't know.
Effectively, yes. They call it an epidemic of penalizing uncertainty. So what happens? AI companies want their models to score well on these tests, these benchmarks. So they optimize their models to do well on the tests, which means they inadvertently train them to guess confidently rather than be honest about uncertainty, because guessing gets higher scores.
Okay, let's make that concrete. Say I'm looking at two AI systems. System A sometimes says, sorry, I don't have reliable information on that, or I'm not confident.
Okay, honest uncertainty.
System B never says that. It always gives a confident answer, even if it's just making it up. Which one scores better on current tests?
System B, almost always. Because it gets points for the times its guesses happen to be right, while System A gets 0 for being honest when it's unsure.
But which system would you actually want running in your company for important tasks?
Exactly. You'd want System A, the honest one. But the current testing pushes vendors towards creating more System Bs.
So we're essentially training AI to bluff better.
That's a fair way to put it. And it has huge implications for how trustworthy and useful these AI tools are in the real world.
Okay, so knowing all this, what can people actually do? If you're listening, what are the practical steps you can take right now to handle this? The source is laid out 4 key actions.
Yeah, 4 really crucial things for leaders. First, change your procurement criteria. Don't just look at the headline accuracy scores when you're buying or evaluating AI.
Dig deeper.
Way deeper. Ask tough questions. How does the system handle uncertainty? Can it tell you how confident it is? What specifically happens when it gets a question outside its knowledge base? You need transparency about its limits.
Makes sense. What's number 2?
Second, implement human-AI collaboration workflows. This is vital. Don't let AI make high-stakes decisions completely on its own.
Keep humans in the loop.
Always. Yeah. Design your processes so that AI is like a really capable research assistant. It does the first draft, gathers options, does initial analysis. But a human must review, verify, and make the final call for anything important. Augmentation, not full automation.
Okay. Third action.
Third, develop robust verification protocols. You need clear, systematic ways to double-check the AI's output, especially when the stakes are high.
Like what kinds of checks?
Could be cross-referencing AI claims against trusted, human-verified sources, having actual subject matter experts review the AI's work before you act on it, maybe even building in a waiting period for major AI-driven decisions just to allow time for proper human scrutiny.
Right. Build in checks and balances. And the last one?
And fourth, train your teams to spot hallucinations. You need to empower your people. Teach them the telltale signs.
What should they look for?
Things like suspiciously precise details about obscure topics, claims that seem just a little too convenient or perfectly confirm what everyone already thinks, information that's just really hard to verify through your normal trusted channels. Basically cultivate a healthy skepticism.
Awareness is key. Okay, so it sounds challenging, but is there good news? Are things getting better?
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of focused research happening. The future for trustworthy AI looks, well, more promising.
What kinds of solutions are emerging?
One big area is better evaluation methods. Future tests, future benchmarks are being designed to actually reward AI for appropriately saying, I don't know, instead of penalizing it.
So rewarding honesty.
Exactly. The research talks about setting confidence targets, basically telling the AI it's okay, even good, to express uncertainty when appropriate. That alone will shift the incentives for developers in a big way.
That sounds positive. Anything else?
Another huge one is retrieval augmented generation, or RD. This is really clever.
Sorry.
Yeah. Instead of just relying on what it learned during training months ago, a RAG system can actually go out and search reliable, up-to-date databases in real time before it gives you an answer.
So it's checking its facts against a trusted source before speaking.
Kind of like that, yes. It reduces the reliance on potentially flawed or outdated training data. It grounds the answers in more current, verifiable information. It's like giving that super autocomplete access to a live library.
Okay, that sounds like a significant step forward.
It really is. And ultimately, understanding all this about hallucinations, it isn't just about dodging bullets or managing risk. It's actually about competitive advantage.
How so?
Well, while other companies might just jump in, deploy AI without really getting these limitations, you, armed with this knowledge, can do things differently. You can build more robust, reliable AI systems because you know where the checks are needed.
You can build more trust with customers.
Exactly, by being transparent. You can make better strategic decisions because you know when to trust the AI and when to push back and demand more human validation.
And avoid those big, public, costly mistakes.
Avoid those embarrassing headlines, yes. The companies that really win with AI won't just be the fastest adopters.
That'll be the smartest.
They'll be the ones who understand both the power and the limitations most clearly. They'll build trust and sustainability through that understanding.
So wrapping this up then, we've gone pretty deep into AI hallucinations, the why, the risks, and crucially, the practical steps you can take to manage this.
And the key takeaway, I think, is that hallucination isn't really a bug we're going to completely fix and eliminate.
It's more like a feature of current AI that needs careful management.
Exactly. It's a reality to navigate. The real question isn't if your AI will sometimes make things up because, well, it probably will. The question is, will you be ready when it does?
Right. So a final thought for everyone listening. Maybe start by looking at where you're using AI now, or where you plan to. Where are you most vulnerable to these hallucination risks?
What verification steps could you put in place, maybe even starting tomorrow?
And how can you turn this understanding, this clarity about AI's limits, into not a weakness, but a real strategic strength for your team, your organization? Because in this age of AI,
that clarity isn't just nice to have.
no, it's a fundamental competitive advantage.
Yeah.